Hello and welcome to Crypto Weeklies. In this video, we are going to discuss BitTensor and its token TAO and conduct machine learning based price analysis, regression analysis, estimated bull run target. None of the content is financial advice. Let's get started. Over the last 24 hours and over the last 7 days, BitTensor and its token TAO has rallied by quite a bit. Again, over the last 7 days, up by about 37% from the lows of about, roughly speaking, $175 to now almost $100 from that level to $256. That's the rally, the shape of the rally that it had. It did visit the longer term support and then dipped below it at around $200 level. Essentially, there haven't been any weekly closes below $200 for BitTensor and token TAO. The tokenomics are as follows. Shares the max supply at around 21 million, just like Bitcoin, but out of which only 8.7 million is in circulation. So in terms of percentage, the market cap which is in circulation in terms of percentage, we can check over here again, ranked by uh, market cap at around 41, and in terms of percentage completion, if we go back to over here, the completion of the percentage is about 40% of the max supply is in circulation. If we spend some more time analyzing the difference between the price and the market cap growth, which is kind of handy to take into the consideration if there is an impact of newly released tokens in the price versus market cap growth. You can see in July of 2024, the price for BitTensor was at around $230. But essentially, if you toggle this to market cap view, essentially the market cap was at around $1.6 billion in July of 2024. Now the market cap is at 2.1 billion dollar, but still the price is lower. Price went lower than it went in in this current dip. So for example, on 7th of July 2024, the price was at around 216 dollars, and and now in on 6th of April of 2025, the price went to $180. Whereas if you toggle to market cap view on the 7th of July 2024, the market cap was $1.51 billion. On 6th of April 2025, the market cap was $1.56 billion. So slightly higher market cap than here, uh, 1.51 versus 1.56 or 57. Yet the price on the same dates, let's take into consideration $216, whereas on 6th of April the price was $183. So there is an impact of newly released tokens on price versus market cap growth that needs to be tracked as an until the point that the circulating supply reaches that 60% threshold that we like to follow on the channel, to see if there are going to be any new token unlocks again at around 60% of 20 million would be at around 12 million. So slightly higher than that when 12 million tokens will be released into circulation. So for example, somewhere over here, during August of 2026, so almost less than 1.5 year from today, uh, the token release would likely meet that 60% threshold. But right now we are in this regimen where the tokens are released in a straight line up till about July of 2025, and then there would be slightly different curvature to the path where the supply unlock schedule would be slightly more conservative. So in that regard, the price versus market cap growth from that point, that is in late August to early September of 2025, that should take into the consideration different type of unlock schedule should go in force. Again, not financial advice, that's what is available right now. With respect to the current price versus market cap, outside of price versus market cap analysis, this is the regression based analysis of the fair value for BitTensor and its token TAO. With this polynomial regression function, which is a non-linear estimation of the fair value to identify accumulation and distribution times in the market, and based on the relationship between the price and the fair value, the risk levels are color coded between cooler colors with lower risk and hotter colors with high risk. That is to identify top when the color codes are orange or red, or identify bottom when the color codes are darker shade of blue and purple. So what piqued the interest to create the video, which was over the course of last week or so, the price did not just go below the fair value, but also once the one standard deviation bottom residual applied to the fair value. And whenever the price goes below this dotted green line, that typically creates a great buy opportunity for BitTensor and token TAO. Right now, that price action coincides to about $205. So per this model, whenever a price, if there is a further downturn up below $204 per this model, that says that for BitTensor that is an accumulation territory. Again, right now the risks for accumulation are at around 38%. And if we again ignore the first data point over here, that is the token release, and identify an equal and opposite dotted peak regression line for BitTensor and its token tau, and let's operate over here. Right now, again, the rally on December 6th, which went slightly above the dotted 2 standard deviation residual, that's when major peaks occur, has have occurred, at least thus far, whenever the price went above the dotted red line. That is currently coming in at around $614, and the shape of the regression function is a function of the strength of the price. So if the price is showing a considerable amount of strength, the shape of the regression function has an upward bias. On the other hand, if the price is going down, with time, as it went for a prolonged period of time till about March of 2025, and then slight changes and slight strength over here helped kind of analyze the change the shape of the regression function. The fair value nonetheless comes at around $340, and the regression based price forecast, a peak is at around 614 US dollar at this point in time. So if again there are no guarantees that the price goes to this dotted red line, that is just an estimation. So if instead of operating too deterministically with this kind of undervaluation or overvaluation function, what we can do essentially is apply this filter where we only consider the risk between 40% and between 40% and 70%. That is more of a um, more of a shorter term or a moderate price forecast for price forecast range for BitTensor and its token tau. With that, what we have is price action between $404 and essentially $570. That's the range of the for BitTensor and its token tau, where the risks are between 40% and 70%. If the price if and when the price goes above the fair value, and holds a presence above the fair value, the valuation at that uh, point could be somewhere between $404 and $570. So that's a moderate forecast for BitTensor and its token tau. If we were to analyze this with respect to 20-week simple moving average, it says that essentially since March of 2025, when the price was below for a prolonged time below the $300 target, the risks were less than 10%. Now the risks have risen slightly at around 12%. Again, this is an estimation based on the 20-week simple moving average. As the price goes down for a prolonged time, during the initial dip, that's when the difference between the price and the 20-week moving average is the highest. And then as the 20-week also falls proportionally with respect to a prolonged decline in the market, the difference between the price and the 20-week moving average goes down. So nonetheless, the risk levels is at around 12%. If they were to go back to this threshold of between 40% and 70% risk levels, in this zone over here, uh, the price per this model for BitTensor could be somewhere between $578 and roughly speaking $687. So that is slightly higher or bullish version of the forecast for BitTensor and token TAO, where the range instead of ending at 570 it kind of begins at 570. The conservative estimate between $400 and $570 for BitTensor. In terms of the time weighted average price, again, this model did identify some of the great times to accumulate tau. Again, this token has not been around for a while. It's only slightly above 2 years now, from launched in March of 2023 to now, um, April 2024. That's why we don't have a dedicated machine learning based price model. But the time weighted average price model, though, did identify 1, 2, and 3, now potentially fourth time, where the price was trailing below the time weighted average price captured by this blue line. Whenever the prices are below the time weighted average price, that's usually for high quality assets a great time to DCA in the model. Again, just historically speaking, with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 points in the before the 2024 rally began, and also 1, 2, and 3 points during the 2024 rally. Again, accumulating below the time weighted average price is definitely not the worst idea. Again, not financial advice. The underlying hypothesis is always that the underlying token has one more rally above the time weighted average price. And there are some cryptos which never, since their inception, have never gone to the time weighted average price. One of such cryptos, for example, I can share a couple of examples. One is ICP, and then the other one is Jasmy. This is Jasmy. We covered at length. The price never touched the time weighted average price when, especially since about the first couple of iterations above it till about the first bull run that it witnessed. Similarly, ICP, just wanted to cover all bases. ICP over here, if you look at ICP, it barely touched the time weighted average price, has never rallied above it, and has for its entirety maintained presence below the time weighted average price. And this is one of the top cryptos by market cap as well. So all in all, if we were to estimate BitTensor and its token TAO, and use machine learning based risk reward based analysis, where right now the weighted risk is at around 0.21 or 21% as a composite of the three models: the DCA model drawn using regression analysis, time weighted average price model, and the SMA model. The weighted risk at around 21%. If this all of the weighted risk were to go to at around 95%, that's the estimated bull run peak for tau at around $1,120. There are no guarantees that all the three models reach to that weighted risk, help the weighted risk to reach at 95%. If we take a conservative estimate of 60% of this target, that is 0.6 into 1100, let's say, and this is Wolfram Alpha. That if we use this to estimate what is a realistic scenario for BitTensor and tau, is $670, kind of in the range of what the SMA model said. And the higher end of the price potential at around 80% of that, at around $896 for BitTensor. And with that, I'd like to conclude the video by saying, first, the range between 670 and 890, the higher end of the side, and per the regression based model, again, which is one of the most nuanced models with respect to the forecast. It comes at around 614 USD for BitTensor, and the mid moderate range between 404 USD till about 570 USD, with the current price at around 250, roughly speaking 250 USD. That's the lower end is at between 1.5x, and the higher end at around between 2 to 2.5x from the current price. And with that, I would like to conclude the video. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.